full lap rather than teleporting back. Because I would have never gotten that, which means I would have never had Vanish, which is a spell I'll never use, but still. Bat, please. Thank you. Vaughn has caught up to Penelo Manello. I never got the map for this area. Forgot about that. Takes 47 ages for that map to open up. Hooray! Now we can see that the area looks exactly like I thought it looked like. Woo! Although now we can actually see which is the shorter path if we really cared. It looks like the upper door on this one is the shorter path, but I don't care because we're going to do full loop anyway, so we'll go lower first. What? There's bats! By God! We got a chain off of bats. Chest? No. I hope it is an option to have it on or off though. Out of the base and the international version, I would just always play international. But I see why you would do that because it's in 10 technically. Because you have the option of picking expert or standard sphere grid. When I redo 10, I've mentioned this I think, but when I redo 10, I'm going to be using the expert sphere grid. Last time I used the standard sphere grid. I'm still not going to do the dark aeons or any of that crap because no. I don't have the time or patience for that. Much like I'm not doing Yasmat on this version because I don't have the time or patience for that. Loot? No. Zombies though. Zombies! They're foul flesh. I don't know why people buy foul flesh, but they do. Alright, yeah, that's the thing. I forget they do that. I know about Revenant Wings. I was actually contemplating running it, but I didn't like it all that much. I didn't get very far into it though, so it may improve a bit. I think I got like a few hours in, maybe 3. Didn't like it that much, so. Don't leech me. Don't blizzard me. Surely there's more loot up here than what I've gotten so far. We technically have guns here as well, but, you know, not like we want to use them, they're just here. Wow, these chests are great. Wow, that was almost 100 gil out of 3 chests. Fantastic. I'm gonna be busy for a while, so even if I did want to do Revenant Wings, I wouldn't be playing it, because it's gonna take me at least to the launch of 10, again, HD, to finish this. Maybe even longer. And then we'll have 10 to run through, which will take a while, and I want to do another run of Crusader Kings 2 eventually. So, I'm busy for a while. Chest! A soldier's cap! It can be official. Penelo is blind. Nobody cares. No, not that, this. You Polish people and your Polishing. Zombies! Zombies are actually easier than the ghosts, I think. They do have AoE, so they got that going for them. So we got the path down to the next area. We've also got a couple of rooms to check. So let's do that first. I don't want to miss loot that would be really easy to check just by doing the rest of these rooms. If I'm missing loot because I don't know the chest is even there, that's fine. Like, I'm sure I'm going to be missing some magic at some point that I'll have to look up where it is in a chest because you can't buy it. But I'm fine with doing this. Please don't self-destruct. Thank you. I like how sometimes they do nothing and sometimes they kill you. Seems balanced. Says the name. Oh, she's poisoned. Should probably deal with that. I don't have any idea how Polish people pronounce, like, letters or combination of letters, so I would have no idea how to pronounce that anyway. Zambies! Poison touch! I'm poisoned! By a Zambi! And then I ate his foul flesh, which seems like a terrible idea. Don't run down the... What? Did I just aggro... I did. Okay. I wonder if they're gonna run all the way up here. Let's remove some of this poison and crap. We don't need to remove blind, but at least poison. Are they gonna run all the way around? I'm curious. How do they pronounce the letters? With the tongue! Yeah, sure. I suppose. I mean, some people pronounce it with the throat, but, you know. I think they may have despawned. Because they move fast enough to probably have gotten up here by now. Let's get this chest. With 77 gil. Totally worth the time. And all this stuff is respawned, which is fine. As long as they don't poison me again for no reason. No. We're gonna need these handkerchiefs too. Or handkerchiefs, as they are actually spelt. Does anyone pronounce it handkerchief? Are you freaking kidding me? Is there a place in the world where it's pronounced handkerchief? I want to know why things are spelt like they are. Like someone just kind of like drools on some letters and say, that's how it's spelled. Have you heard the New Zealand deck sealant commercial? I don't think so. I saw a deck sealant commercial, but I don't think it was New Zealand related. That was ages ago too. Connecticut. I'm trying to actually pronounce that Connecticut. But it's really hard to say that quickly, apparently. Connecticut. There we go. A kerchief is a thing, yeah. I thought that was just like a shortening of handkerchief.
Underground?
Handkerchief.
Not fog. Mist. You can see the mist with your eyes? Where it is thick enough, you may. The nether runs deep in this place. So, is the mist dangerous? Yes, but it is also an aid. A dense mist allows the working of powerful magics. I'll keep that in mind. Can't count on Vaughn to keep track of these things. That's for sure.
Oh ho ho, Penelo making jabs at Vaughn's intelligence, like everyone else does all the time. Alright. I don't remember if there's loot anywhere in this area. Oh, there is loot in this area, that's right. I don't remember where it is, but there is loot in this area. There's a lot of handkerchiefs somewhere. Handkerchiefs. That doesn't make any sense at all. Where does that door go? Oh, that goes to the other side. Alright. Apparently no handkerchiefs up here. Handkerchiefs. As I run the longest possible way back down. I am best navigationer. Loot. A phoenix down. Yeah, well, I need more of those, obviously. I think we need to run to the center to trigger it, so yeah. What do you have? A blood sword. Well, they moved that to a slightly easier to access location, although no one can use it. 'Cause it takes ages to get to. I'm going to swap party. Balthier out, Ash in. Let's check her gambits. This isn't going to be very efficient. We're not going to refresh it during battle, but thought I may as well put it up. Ash. This is why I hate doing single target stuff like this. Because A, it takes ages, and B, it's quite a bit of MP, to be honest. By the time she gets this done, it'll probably refresh. How many do I need to sort my inventory pretty badly here? How many do I have? I have 14 minus 2. It's not a guaranteed chance to apply oil when he does this, I don't think, but you know. What are you doing, Moomin? What have you done to the chat? Hello, friend! Blizzard is probably the spell to cast in this fight, and it's not going to be a terribly difficult fight so long as we keep oil off of people. And also, preferably keep her from being punched in the face constantly, but... Fire Aha, here we go. Demon Wall of Text. Who got oil? Nobody. In fact, barely anyone even got hit. Please hit me instead of her. Hello. I am a big tanky guy with lots of health. Yeah, hit him too. Whatever, okay. May as well pop at least a quickening in there. Because they look cool. Why not? Yeah, a quickening. Sounds about right. The RNG on those rerolls is annoying to some degree there. Look at that damage. And we'll speed it back up. Learn to tank. I know how to tank, I just need provoke. That's all I need. All the summons use the same background for their specials. They do not have the same animation. Obviously, because they're different shapes and sizes. Anyway, there's our first summon. Ifrit, but not Ifrit. Probably won't be using him much, but we'll see what he can unlock on some license rewards. You obtained the Espa.
In vain glory they arose, shouting challenges at the gods, but prevail they did not. Their doom it was to walk the mist until time's end. A legend of the Nemo.
My family tells a story of the Dynast King and an Esper. The story goes that in his youth, the Dynast King defeated a mighty Gigas, for which the gods took heed of him. Thereafter it was ever bound to him in thraldom.
So, all this time it's been here guarding the Dynast King's treasure?
Not so. The Esper is the Dynast King's treasure.
That's your treasure?
In this Esper we now command rests a power whose worth is beyond any measure.
Is that so? Call me old-fashioned, but I was hoping for a treasure whose worth we could measure.
I would agree with Akasha. I like Fran's accent. Shades of black. A technique I'll never use. And an elixir. A thing I will use. I don't know what it is with her accent, but I like it. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of slurred. She's perpetually drunk. That's clearly what I like about it. Please, Ash, just chill out. There's no more stuff here. That doesn't activate until we start this story cutscene.
What's wrong?
Your Majesty, we must go.
What? Wrestler. You will be avenged.
Sensual gasping noises. It's a requirement for any Final Fantasy voice actor. You must be able to do that. Alright, we're done. Moving on. I may as well read the inscription. Blah blah blah, return to the hall, blah blah blah, can't come back. Do you like me reading that? Good, because we're never gonna see it again. It's a one-way trip, is what that says. They all have inscriptions on them, and you can read them and it explains where they go and what they do, but that one's one way. Which is beneficial. I'm gonna turn those gambits off. We don't need those anymore. Please stop. We can leave. And I believe it lets us use the save point before it interrupts us with more story. God forbid a Final Fantasy game not have story for more than 5 minutes. Yep, we can. Alright. A strong mist prevents you from leaving. Hint. Hint, 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 hint. You can't teleport out for a raisin. It involves raisins. They're very tasty. Raisins.
such a tremendous honor to again be graced with your presence, Majesty. You left us with such great dispatch upon our last encounter that I must confess I had begun to worry that we may have given your Majesty some cause for offense.
Such a heartfelt display of remorse. Now what is it you want?
I want you to give me the Nethicite.
The Nethicite?
That is a base imitation. We seek Wraithwall's legacy, the ancient relics of the Dynast King. Day-affected Nethicite. Did you not tell them, Captain Azalus?
Majesty, he speaks of the Dawn Shard. That is the Nethicite.
Are you mad, Vossler?
If we are to save Dalmasca, we must accept the truth. I will fight this profitless battle no more.
Captain Azalus has struck a wise bargain. In return for the Dawn Shard, the Empire will permit Lady Ash to reclaim her throne, and the Kingdom of Dalmasca will be restored. Think on it. An entire kingdom for a stone. You must admit, 'tis more than a fair exchange.
And when all is said and done, your master will have another pet.
Lady Ash, let us take him for the people of Dalmasca. Your Majesty wallows in indecision on peril of their heads. And his shall be the first to fall.
Well, at least your sword is to the point.
To think the relics of the Dynast King were day-affected Nethicite, Dr. Sid will be beside himself.
What did you say?
Captain Azalus, take them to Shiva. They should have leave to return to Rabanastre soon. I want you to assess its power.
Did our orders not specify that we return the stone for testing?
I will not chance returning with a stone that is yet unproven.
I told you, it's a FF voice actor requirement. You have to be able to do that kind of moaning. Also, I believe we get a boss fight coming up before the world's best cutscene.
When we return to Dalmasca, we can announce that you are alive and well. I will then continue our negotiations with the Empire. I believe Lars is the key. He'll listen to us. We should trust him.
Who are you, Vossler, to talk of trust?
A son of Dalmasca.
Our equipment here is limited, so we'll be using the ship's drive to make our assessment. Once we've connected the stone, the reaction should be easily measured.
Methods do not interest me, only results.
Friend?
Such heat! The mist, it's burning!
6,800, 6,900, 7,000! This must be day-affected Nethicite! The count still climbs!
Ah, we found it at last. True day-affected Nethicite. The power of the Dynast King in my hands. Blood alone does not an emperor make, vain.
What is this? Something's wrong!
What is it?
You stand! Hold her down!
wrong with her?
I always knew Fran didn't take well to being tied up. I just never knew how much. How about you?
I like Fran's idea. Let's get out of here.
No farther! Sky Pirates, the future of Dalmasca will not be stolen.
Uh-oh. They made Fran angry.
Why do this, Bosch? This struggle is futile. You must know where it leads.
I do know. All too well.
Hooray! Funny thing, Fran's not even in this party. You know, for the sake of having her in this party, I'm going to drop Ash for Fran. Just for the sake of having her, considering she is kind of the point of this entire scene. She gets berserk, so she just hits whatever she wants and does, you know, decent amounts of damage. Pinello, stop for a bit. Do it on him. And then turn your gambits back on. Alright, Frangry. Good lord. She hits whatever she wants, but she tends to generally do alright about it. Yep. Pinello. We're gonna swap Pinello, actually. I didn't realize he had, or he puts Reflect up, which is annoying. Doesn't have haste anymore, though, so this fight should be really easy compared to what it normally is, which is really easy. In fact, Fran doesn't even hit very hard. Fran barely hits harder than Ash, and she has a rod, of all things. This isn't a hard fight, and it's especially not hard in International because of how strong you tend to be by this point. But, you know. In fact, we may as well speed it up, since it's just going to be this. He doesn't rage, and then he starts comboing, but it's irrelevant. Does he haste when he does that too? No, it's basically a haste. In fact, we may as well go ahead and pop quickenings. Heh, rod. Don't talk to me about your rods. Come on, give me a mischarge. One mischarge, eventually? Fran is level 14, this is true. Just 1800 health, but you know. And she's perpetually berserked in this fight, so. Why are you casting Reflect? You're almost dead. In fact, you are dead now. Well done. You failed your only job. Now we get to watch a sweet cutscene.
Engine power falling rapidly. It's negative. Impossible.
Engine room, this is the bridge. Report.
What are they doing down
What's
there?
happened?
The other side's draining the ship's power!
Disengage it at once.
I want that
We're
number
trying to
300
get
seal
it.
in the air.
Ash, let's go.
All I have done, I've ever thought of Dalmasca first.
I know you do. I would ne'er gainsay your loyalty.
Look on what my haste has wrought.